What is up, amigos? Today we're looking at the aerodynamics of a pot plant. We have a pot plant here, and it's pretty sweet. You can plant chilies, bonsais, and for the more adventurous of us, cacti. Maybe not an apple tree, because that's probably a little bit too big for this pot plant. You need to get a bigger pot plant for that. But even still, we have a pot plant here. And aerodynamics downstream in these cut planes is really interesting. So obviously the pot plant is very three-dimensional. You can see it's circular. It has all the right curves in all the right places. But the flow, you can see it really fluctuates only in two-dimensional nature, up and down. You can see there's no three-dimensional nature really to it, which is quite surprising for such a three-dimensional object. Let's look at some other cut planes to get a better idea. This Y plane is going straight through the pot plant in the middle, and we can see that there is a very strong two-dimensional flow here. The volcano street is incredibly crisp, and it's very unlikely to get something like this on such a three-dimensional object. So it's quite surprising, and I can tell you that the drag coefficient of this object is only 0.45. This is predominantly because of, you can see the wake is quite small, and because there's not much three-dimensionalness to the flow. While this Y plane is even off the pot plant a little bit, it's a little bit to the side of it. And we still see that there's a strong two-dimensional flow here. The flow fluctuates up and down, and there's not much three-dimensionalness to it. So that shows that the pot plant for some reason produces such a two-dimensional wake, which is very rare. This Z plane is just above the little pan that you sometimes get with a pot, and you can buy them separately, and I think that's quite a good investment. So this plane here shows that, again, the flow is very two-dimensional in nature. There's very little fluctuation in the up and down direction in this plane, which is a little surprising considering that the pot is cylindrical. You would expect there to be a volcano street in this direction and not in the other direction. And this Z plane is just below the rim, and you can see inside the pot plant that the flow is very slow moving, and the wake is somewhat big. It blows out quite a lot, but again, it's not really wobbling around in this direction. It's more in the up and down direction that the volcano street is present. These Z planes are, one is just below the top of the pot plant and one is on top. And even though we're on top of the pot, there is still quite a big wake because the wake comes over the top and it like blows out. So this is not a fast moving flow here. So that's it in this video. If you liked it, make sure to like it, and if you want to see more like this, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you'd put in a pot plant to grow. And if you want to see more like this, check out these playlists here, and I'll see you next video. Peace out, amigos.